Running a marathon is considered a pretty mad endeavour by most people out there, with only 0.1% of the population having ever completed one. But most people take the easy option and only run in 1 pair of shoes. I'm going to up the madness and run it in 5 pairs of shoes. Why? Science!
Yes, science!
And also the likes, please like and subscribe. But in all seriousness, we're doing this to show you what kind of shoe is used for what kind of purpose, and also to debunk a couple of myths out there using 5 of the Decathlon shoes. So we have picked a looped course here at the Kempton Park Marathon. Some of these shoes are designed for longer distances than others, so I've divided up the 8 laps pretty perfectly, so it should be idiot-proof.
1, go! Have a big line, everyone.
Mile 1, lap 1, shoe 1, and I'm currently running in the cheapest pair of shoes I've ever worn at £25. So these are the Jogflow 100.1, and they are designed for leisure runners, people getting into running. There is such a trend at the moment with prices of shoes going up and up and up and up. It is amazing that someone could go in to Decathlon, find a £25 pair of shoes and get running. Simple as that. What are these for? These are an entry-level shoe. And what you tend to find with an entry-level shoe is that the foam will be a bit minimal, the upper will be a bit sort of a heavy material, but they're not sort of designed for running things like a marathon. They are designed for your leisure runner that wants to get out and get running. Basically, the aim is to increase the pace every time I change shoes, because every shoe is a step up on the Decathlon's line, ending in something I've not run in a marathon in a very long time, which is a carbon plate. There he is, pit crew. Tito, where are the shoes, mate? They're all eating out when I left. Oh. Moving on from the entry-level shoe to the stability shoe. Why do you need a stability shoe? So, if you've ever heard of the word pronate, when someone's talking to you about their running, that means that when they're running, their feet aren't quite stable. So they are either over or under pronating. You get a shoe like this one, the KS 900 Lite. The S stands for stability in this, and the D in the later one stands for dynamic. So what these will do is they'll either feature an insert, so something that a heel counter that basically locks your heel in place, or they'll feature denser foam in different places within the sole to keep you in place. Or like these shoes, they have a much wider landing space, so you can get that stability rather than a narrower bit, which means you are going to slip and slide. But right now, I need to get running. Right, Tito, don't forget the next one.
Yeah.
These bad boys. I knew he was not going to have everything laid out.
I mean, after all, it's just getting some shoes out of the bag.
But anyway, we are now in the KS 900 Lite. So there is a 900 and there is a 500 in this range. The 500 actually has a bit more stability than this one does. This has, I can actually feel it, the slightly denser foam. I don't actually need much stability in my running. So even though these shoes could be used for a longer run, if you need a stability shoe, I'll be doing 1 lap in these and then moving on to something I love talking about, which is foam technology.
Shoes for sale.
How do you know if you actually even need a stability shoe? Well, the most simple way of saying it is go to a running shop that has gait analysis. Then it has a treadmill. They're all know what they're chatting about. They're able to look at how you run and a very quick assessment. But the reason why I can usually tell people to go and get the gait analysis is that they're saying they're getting knee pain, shin splints, generally just not enjoying running. I mean, there are times when you cannot enjoy running. I feel like today in 21-degree heat, running a marathon, there might be quite a few points where I'm not going to enjoy this. Lap 2 done, time to change shoes. Moving into speed work. Basically every elite runner on the start of a marathon or a half marathon will be using this kind of foam in their shoe, P-Bax foam. Have a pair of shoes, Tito. I'll see ya. So these are the KD 502. So these are for speed sessions. But what do I mean by speed session? Well, they're the tempo threshold workouts, which Sarah has done an amazing video about, which will be linked up here. But they are basically sessions where you're trying to push your max aerobic capacity for short distances within that workout. So think I'm knackered, but I'm not gonna pop a lung kind of knackered. And they're usually done over the sort of 5 or 10k distances with those speed bits added in within that workout, which is why I've kicked these on 10k, so 2 laps. So moving from that stability shoe that had a lot of softer foam, these really do feel a lot firmer, but they're firm for a reason. So the more you increase your speed, the more that foam can spring back and push you forward. So this is all about the responsive, snappy part of running shoes. So Tita and I went to the launch of these in Paris, and one thing I was struck by is how ridiculously light this is, but also it's got a donut shape midsole, which is fascinating, which makes me just hungry right now. But the whole aim of a midsole like this with that kind of donut shape is to disperse as much of the fall of your body basically, so it doesn't feel quite as fatiguing during a longer run. Hopefully a lot easier, because right now in this heat, which I think is now 21 to 22 degrees, which I know a lot of you in the comments will be like, it's not that hot. It is for Brits.
It's not hot. It's not hot at all.
If you've got Argentine blood, it's not hot, but if you have pale Welsh blood, this feels like the Sahara. 3 laps, so 15 Ks. See you in a bit. So I'm immediately feeling the difference of these shoes compared to the speed shoes. These have got a lot more plush, comfier foam. Again, still got that P-backs, but there's just more of it, and it's more dispersed. And with the donut shape, it feels a lot lighter and more comforting on the foot as you're up in this pace, which is good, because in this heat I'm definitely feeling it. So how can you actually identify a long run shoe? Well, typically they've got a large amount of foam, because when you're going that further distances, you're just going to need that extra bit of cushioning, because you'll fatigue more as you go longer distances. Typically these will be sort of designed for race day back in the day, but now with the invention of carbon plates in shoes, these are your long run training shoes. It'd also be a shoe that if someone wanted one shoe to do everything, this would be the shoe that I would recommend. I tend to run in these kind of shoes for races. I'm not that great at using carbon plates, so they are long run but also all-rounder shoes. There is one shoe left, and I'm about to break the golden rule of the running channel: nothing new on race day. I have actually never put this carbon plated shoe on, but Andy did a review a while back of it, which you can watch here, and he was so impressed with it. Not had a chance to take it for a test run, so this 5k finale is going to be a very, very interesting test run. Time for the final change. There's an urban myth that carbon plates have the plate in to propel you quicker, but actually it's there to keep you stable when combined with very lightweight foam. Ever since Andy reviewed this shoe when it first came out, I've been very, very excited to try it on, because it is the cheapest carbon plate on the market by quite a large margin. So this is the KD 900, and this is the KD 900X, although I'm not sure what the X stands for. In my head it's like X-rated, extreme. In fact, editor Ben, could you put down what it actually is? A lot of carbon plated shoes are you know, £100 more expensive or more. Last lap. So what is the makeup of a carbon plated shoe? Well, to kind of bring it full circle of all the other shoes we talked about, it is essentially a Frankenstein of the other. Stability wise, it has the carbon plate to help you as you land. It has the long run foam that we talked about before, and it has the more condensed, compact foam of the speed and tempo shoe. When you pull them all together, you end up with a carbon plated racer shoe that the elites put on when it's their race day. I'm gonna have to stop talking now though, because there is the finish line. Cheers, and thank you. Whee. Right, that is 26.2 miles done in 5 different pairs of shoes. Whose idea was this? My idea. But now we're done with this, go and watch me and Sarah take on a multi-sport challenge in some other Decathlon gear, and I'm gonna lie down right here, right now.